welcome. You're watching Commodity Central on ET Now, and on today's show, we are going to be covering the export trend of India's gems and jewelry in the first quarter as well as the month of July. Just throwing some interesting numbers at you from gJEPC. The gross gem and jewelry exports stood at 87,078 crore rupees, which is an uptick of 13.6% on a year-on-year basis in rupee terms. In dollar terms, this amounts to $9.17 billion, which is an uptick of 2.4% on a year-on-year basis. Exports growth was led by value-added jewelry segments, particularly studded gold as well as silver jewelry, and markets like UAE, Hong Kong, Singapore and UK drove demand for studded gold jewelry. So some interesting trends over here. Let's decode these numbers and dive deeper over here, and let's welcome on board Mr. Savyasachi Ray, the ED at gJEPC, joining us on the show. Mr. Ray, hi, good to be speaking with you. First up, give us your sense on how you've been looking at these export numbers, starting with studded gold jewelry. While that is growing strongly, plain gold, on the other hand, is declining. Is this primarily a shift in consumer preference towards value-added products, or are there any other factors in your view that are driving this divergence?
Thank you. What you have just now told is the trend is exactly in that side. That means the value-added segment of the gem and jewelry is growing. So this is the first time we have seen the April to July trends. Whatever we are seeing is that the studded and plain gold jewelry, the jewelry segment had crossed the diamond segment. This is maybe the first time in the history of this product. This has happened, and what has happened in July is that 21% of the studded jewelry, diamond studded jewelry, the growth is of 21%, which is a very, very good sign. And April to July, the total growth in studded, diamond studded is around 19%, and lab-grown studded jewelry, it is 47%. So if you look at this picture or the figure, what is a very good thing is that the loose stone industry is now very quickly shifting into studded jewelry segment, which is a very good sign, because in studded jewelry we always knew that China or Thailand was very good, but now the trend is that the entire segment is shifting to studded segment, which is a very good sign.
Right. Mr. Ray, you spoke about diamonds, and my next question to you is just about that. Cut and polished diamond exports, they fell 18% in July after declining 8% in April to July period. What is driving this weakness, and do you see this as a cyclical slowdown, or is this a structural challenge for India's diamond industry?
No, there is no challenge. What is happening is now what we have seen that both the studded, as I told you, the studded jewelry segment is growing. So the people are finding value more to sell studded jewelry than natural diamond. But of course, month to month, if you're talking about this, now I will tell you what has happened is that in this time we have seen that from June onwards, maybe basically from JCK, in Las Vegas, in USA, we have seen this trend that the natural diamonds has made a very strong comeback. So both the segments of natural diamonds and also the lab-grown diamonds have shown an increase. But of course, as month to month, you have seen that there are maybe some price challenges which are seen based on that. But caratage-wise, we have seen that things are good. So there is no challenge in 8 or 18%. But overall, if you see that in the first 3 months, it has only shown some 8% decrease, which is overall, in the gross level, diamonds are making a strong comeback.
Understood. So that's good to hear. Mr. Ray, let's talk about silver jewelry exports. They surged 72% in the first quarter, but in the month of July, that turned flat. Was the earlier growth driven by a lower base? Can you help us understand what has led to this very sharp 72% uptick when it comes to silver jewelry exports, and this flatness, the slowdown that we're seeing in July? Is that a concern right now?
No, as I told you, the jewelry exports is showing a very robust growth. Of course, the plain gold and silver jewelry, as you had seen, that silver, of course, because of the increase in the price of gold, we have seen a lot of consumers maybe shifting into silver because it is affordable. So that is one of the trends. Because of that, strong growth numbers have seen. But also you have seen that in the last 1 month, basically in July, we have seen some softening of the price of gold. It may be, but for that, the silver jewelry has not shown that strong growth month to month. But generally, the thing is positive that silver jewelry is another sunrise sector where the exports are growing at a very robust pace.
Okay. And lastly, Mr. Ray, overall, the value-added jewelry is clearly outperforming the traditional categories. Do you expect this mix shift towards studded gold, silver, and other value-added products to sustain in the second half as well? And what could be the biggest catalyst for jewelry exports in the second half? What could the trend look like?
See, the trend is very positive. What we have seen is that a lot of big houses from Europe, of course, as you have seen, the FTAs are taking shape. So recently, the UK FTA has come into implementation. That itself will drive the growth in the studded jewelry segment and also the silver segment, because that is a strong market for both. And also, if whenever this European Union also this will be implemented maybe in the beginning of the next year, maybe 27. So based on that, we are very, very, hopeful that this momentum will continue. Oman has been implemented. Australia is showing very good growth. UK recently has implemented. That will also show the growth. So in all these markets, wherever the FTA has implemented, they are primarily, if you see a studded gold jewelry markets, like UK, Australia, etc. And the moment EU come into being, that again is a studded jewelry market. So that way, in our opinion, the shift to the studded jewelry segment will be continuous, and it is very good for India because it means value-added jewelry, and all the big houses of Europe are looking at manufacturing into India. That itself, so because of that, in the whole fort, maybe till March, you will see a very robust growth in the studded jewelry segment.
Okay, that's good to hear. And on that note, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Ray. Just breaking down this conversation that we've had, the tilt is shifting towards the value-added segments, especially studded as well as silver and diamond. Studded gold jewelry exports in the month of July were up about 22%, 21.4% to be precise. So that's a good move coming in over there. On the flip side, cut and polished diamonds have seen a fall of 18%. Gold jewelry has grown 8.7%, but plain gold jewelry has seen a degrowth of 3.5%. So those are some of the interesting trends that we were trying to bring to you when it comes to India's gross jewelry and gems exports for April to July of 2026. Thanks so much for watching Commodity Central.